The executives who engineered the modern attention economy share a peculiar obsession. While building platforms designed to keep you scrolling, they privately practice a 2,000-year-old philosophy of absolute focus. Meanwhile, the rest of us deal with a severe case of infobesity, a constant state of being overwhelmed by data. We drown in a digital feed explicitly designed to fracture human attention and leave us chronically scattered. To understand the disconnect, we have to look at the tech billionaires who adopted a highly commercialized, hollowed-out version of ancient Greco-Roman thought. Today, critics refer to it as McStoicism or Broicism. These modern elites stripped Stoicism of its ethical core. They repackaged the philosophy as a mere operating system for personal productivity and corporate resilience, discarding the original goal of acting reasonably within society. They even deploy specific ancient concepts to defend their status. The Stoics believed external things like wealth are acceptable to possess, so long as they don't compromise your virtue, a concept known as preferred indifference. Silicon Valley elites use this exact loophole to justify hoarding extreme capital while operating platforms that extract attention from the public. The ultimate irony lies in their defense. These architects use this cognitive shield to protect their own minds from the exact digital chaos and automated extraction systems they unleashed on everyone else. We are witnessing a philosophical heist. The architects of the attention economy have claimed the ancient cure for themselves, leaving the public to survive the disease they invented. To reclaim that cure, we must admit what we are up against. The modern digital feed functions as an aggressive, engineered arena, a digital colosseum, where user attention is the primary prize contested by automated forces. The psychological foundation of this arena goes back to behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner. He discovered that animals pull levers obsessively when a reward is given at highly unpredictable intervals. Today, algorithms use these exact variable reward schedules through intermittent reinforcement. When you scroll, you never know if you'll see a boring ad or a highly validated post. This unpredictability is optimized to trigger maximum anticipatory arousal in your brain's mesolimbic dopamine pathway. Over time, these artificial spikes force your nervous system to downregulate its own receptors to maintain balance. This creates a chronic dopamine deficit state. You are driven to consume escalating volumes of content just to feel a baseline sense of equilibrium. And the algorithms target a second biological vulnerability, the amygdala hijack. Research shows that polarizing tribal outrage keeps users engaged longer. By deliberately surfacing inflammatory content, the system triggers your threat detection center to bypass the logical processing of your prefrontal cortex. Fighting this environment with sheer willpower is a losing battle. The system is mathematically designed to overpower our evolutionary biology. The authentic Stoic countermeasure to this biological hijacking requires a transition from a passive consumer to an active, fortified observer, starting with the teachings of Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics use the term phantasia to describe an impression. When you see a viral headline or an aggressive comment, it is just raw, unverified data. It is a phantasia, not objective reality. The ancient Stoics identified a microscopic gap between receiving that raw data and reacting to it. In that gap lives prohairesis, our capacity for rational choice and moral purpose. Marcus Aurelius's discipline relies on aggressively expanding this gap. By taking a deliberate pause, you intercept the amygdala hijack and allow your logical brain to catch up. If the data is designed purely to harvest attention, you deny it assent, meaning you refuse to accept its emotional judgments. The ancients also warned of occupatio, a state of chronic, trivial busyness. Ruthlessly unfollowing accounts or muting keywords acts as a vital form of cognitive hygiene, reclaiming the mental real estate needed for focus. By actively filtering out non-essential noise, you conserve your finite mental bandwidth. You transform a fractured attention span into an impenetrable fortress of focus. Focus alone is insufficient. When the tech elite looted the Stoic tradition, they discarded its most essential component, the cardinal virtue of justice. True Stoicism requires Oikeiosis. This is the developmental duty to extend our natural biological instinct for self-preservation outward. A practitioner trains their mind to pull these outer circles inward, treating family, community, and the entire globe with the same dignity and concern they give themselves. Modern engagement algorithms actively fracture these circles. They mathematically incentivize tribal division, ideological entrenchment, and the dehumanization of opponents because conflict sustains user engagement. Achieving internal tranquility is fundamentally a prerequisite for something larger. Its true purpose is to clear your mind so you can fulfill your ethical duties to the broader human community. A Stoic digital citizen practices intellectual humility by acknowledging the limits of their own knowledge. They verify sources before sharing and respond to toxic discourse with the strategic power of non-engagement. Through daily routines and the neuroplasticity of the brain, this repeated practice physically wires your mind for calm. You construct what the Stoics called an inner citadel, a protected psychological space fortified by deliberate habits. Stoicism demands an impenetrable mind, providing the strength required to engage with the world ethically and rebuild the digital cosmopolis.